Aloha and a warm welcome to the First Church of Christ, Bradford, originally gathered in 1682. And so we want to welcome you in this, our 336th year of life and ministry. My name is Danny O'Valley, and I have the joy of serving here at the First Church Bradford as the 24th pastor in our history. And it is my honor and it is my joy on behalf of our congregation to welcome each and every one of you. We welcome our guests this afternoon from Timberlane Regional High School, Dr. Earl Metzler, Superintendent of Schools, Donald Woodworth, Principal, Scott Strange, Associate Principal, Michael Green, Choral Director, Robert Finch, Choral Director, Timothy Ho, Guest Conductor, and the Timberlane Regional High School Chamber Singers and Concert Choir, as well as all of Timberlane Nation, administration, faculty, staff, student body, family, and friends. We welcome you with our love to the First Church of Christ, Bradford. Let's welcome our guests. A special aloha to James K. Chun and Andrew Lai of the Kamehameha Schools in Honolulu, Hawaii, and to all who are a part of the Ohana of the Kamehameha Schools and the people of Hawaii, and to Princess Pauahi for her enduring legacy of aloha. Let's welcome the Timberlane Regional High School Concert Choir, Timothy Ho, Guest Conductor. like to welcome Mr. Scott Strange to come and to bring the lay of the land as the historic events unfold.
Good morning, everyone. It is such an honor and a pleasure to be here with you today. Thank you all for being here with us as we celebrate on so many different levels this joyous day. We gather here today for many different reasons, and as Pastor O'Valley and myself started to put the day together, we kept returning to one word, and that word is honor. We're here today to honor Henry Opukaha'ia, the man who sparked the flame of the missionary travel to Hawaii. Today, February 17th, marks the 201st anniversary of his death in 1818. So it's not a random day that we are here. We come to honor the history of the missionaries who left from New England on their journey to Hawaii. They departed 200 years ago on October 23rd, 1819. October 23rd also happens to be Pastor Dan's birthday. Not in 1819, though, a little bit later. A little bit later. A little bit later. We're also here to honor the history of the First Church of Christ in Haverhill, or Bradford. It was here, on this very spot, that the American Board of Commission for Foreign Missions was created in 1810. It was the ABCFM, as it is known, that sent the missionaries from Boston to Hawaii. So this is not a random space. And we come today to this place where Henry Opukaha'ia worshiped and studied. He came to the First Church of Christ. He worshiped here. He studied here in Bradford. He studied here at Phillips Andover Theological Seminary. He knew this place. He walked these streets. He knew this area. He was in the fourth church out here, the third church out here on the common. And if you notice, there's a large granite stone there that marks the beginning of the American Board of Commission for Foreign Missions. How many times have you driven by the stone and not known what it is? Now you do. So we come here also to honor the people of Hawaii. We're singing today in their language in honor of them. We honor them in so many ways. Their people, their history, and their culture. So again, it may seem like this date, this place, these hymns sung in this language are totally random, but they certainly are not. In 1807, a young Hawaiian boy stood on the shores of the Big Island of Hawaii. His land had been torn apart by war, and his family had perished in the fighting. In the harbor sat the trading vessel, the Triumph, that was about to depart for New Haven, Connecticut. The boy, named Opukaha'ia, made the fateful decision to swim out to the ship, and he began his journey to a foreign land, the United States. Upon his arrival, he found his way to the campus of Yale University in New Haven, and it is here that he met a man by the name of Timothy Dwight, who was the president of Yale University, a leading figure in what was known as the Second Great Awakening here in New England. Later, Timothy Dwight would become one of the founding members of the American Board of Commission for Foreign Missions that was started right here at this church. A little bit more on that later. It was at Yale that Opukaha'ia began both his secular and his religious education in the congregational tradition. As Opukaha'ia spent more time on the campus at both Yale and Phillips Andover Seminary in Andover, Massachusetts, he came in contact with the likes of men like Samuel Mills, Adoniram Judson, Samuel Newell, Luther Rice, Gordon Hall, all men who would become some of the guiding lights of the missionary movement that would soon go global, all men who studied at Phillips Andover Academy, all men who knew of this church, all men who would be guiding hands in the American Board of Commission for Foreign Missions. The seeds of the ABCFM were planted on the campus of Williams College, way out in western Massachusetts in 1806, when one of these gentlemen, Samuel Mills, and 4 other students were inspired in the middle of a thunderstorm as they hid beneath a haystack. God spoke to them and said, "This field is the world." And it is at this point that they realized that the missionary work that they had been doing throughout New England to the Native Americans that were here needed to go global. In 1810, the idea comes to fruition when a group of ministers, theological students from Phillips Andover, and yes, Henry Opukaha'ia, came together right here in Bradford, Massachusetts, and established the American Board of Commission for Foreign Missions. Opukaha'ia and the members of the board now saw the Hawaiian Islands, his homeland, as a destination for this missionary movement. In 1812, the ABCFM sent its first missionaries to British India. Opukaha'ia, who was still here and studying here in Bradford, continued to press for the missionaries to be sent to his native Hawaii, and spent a great deal of time at Phillips Andover and here at Bradford Academy as they began to train the missionaries who would undertake this journey. Sadly, on this day, in 1818, February 17th, Opukaha'ia dies of typhus. He never realized his personal dream of returning to his homeland to bring Christianity to his own people, but his impact would remain. And in giving the instructions, Serrano Dwight, the son of Timothy Dwight, who was the minister at the Park Street Church in Boston, Massachusetts, gave these instructions to the Hawaiian missionaries from the ABCFM. "You will never forget Opukaha'ia. You will never forget his fervent love, his affectionate counsels, his many prayers and tears for you and for his and your nation. You saw him die, saw how the Christian could triumph over death and the grave, saw the radiant glory in which he left this world for heaven. You will remember it always, and you will tell it to your kindred and countrymen who are dying without hope." With this message, the missionaries left in November of 1819, 200 years ago this year. It is Opukaha'ia who brings us here today in honor of the missionaries he inspired, and through him, we honor the Hawaiian people in Hawaii and around the globe by sharing our voices, our breath, our mana, our spirit. I'd like to thank Pastor O'Valley. Thank you to the parishioners of the First Church for sharing your space with us today. To thank Mr. Green and Mr. Finch from Timberlane Regional High School for their care, their love, and their dedication to these hymns and to our students. You have brought them to understand and know. To our students, for sharing your gifts with us, for sharing your breath with us, for sharing your mana with us. You honor us with that. I'd like to thank Mr. Timothy Ho, a graduate of Kamehameha Schools, and from Horace Mann in the Bronx, for taking his time, his energy, his effort, his mana spirit, his mana'o, his thoughts, his understandings, and his gift to us today and throughout the week. It has been an honor for all of us as we honor this church, the people of its history, Opukaha'ia, the Hawaiian community. And I have never-ending mahalo, thank you, and aloha for anyone who has put hands on this project. The people of this parish who have come together in so many ways, the people of our school who have come together in so many ways, the people of Horace Mann and Kamehameha and Mr. Ho who have brought us so many gifts on so many different levels. Today is a day to honor. It is a day of glory. It is a day of aloha. To all who have put hands on the project, you have brought honor to the proceedings today. And on a personal note as I close, I would just like to say it has been my honor to be just a small part of this. Thank you so very much.
Well, let's welcome the Timberlane Regional High School Chamber Singers, and again with Timothy Ho, guest conductor. Let's welcome back to the platform the Timberlane Regional High School Concert Choir and Timothy Ho, our friend and guest conductor.
No.
know where your paper went. That's awesome. You may be seated. Thank you. Timberlane Regional High School, chamber singers and concert choir, thank you for sharing your heart and soul and gift with us. Tim, thank you for being here, and the door is wide open. If you're up this neck of the woods again, stop in, say hello, and be with us again. Thank you, Scott. Thank you all of Timberlane Nation for coming and being a part of this, parents and friends and all. Thank you for sharing your sons and daughters with us to bless us. We here at this church, we appreciate that, so we want to thank you again. So.